Been absolutely central. As you mentioned, India has been the largest supporter, provided the most peacekeeping troops since the beginning. Over 275,000 troops, I believe, and remains one of the largest today. India has been behind many of the milestones of UN peacekeeping as well. For example, India was the first to really introduce the role of women in peacekeeping, and this is an important part of UN Security Council Resolution 1325, very much within India's support to Nari Shakti, women-led development as well. India has provided a number of other types of support to UN peacekeeping. For example, during the COVID pandemic, India provided hundreds of thousands of vaccines to peacekeeping troops across the world. India is supporting the ability of peacekeeping troops to remain ahead of the curve in terms of changes in the natures of threats and technologies through the Peacekeeping Center, the Center for UN Peacekeeping, CUNPK, as well. India is also increasingly bringing to bear the Atmanirbhar Bharat to support UN peacekeeping. I had the honor to receive on behalf of the UN peacekeeping a couple of months ago over 150 heavy and armored vehicles from India for the South Sudan mission, all made in India as well, and all very, very high quality. So I think India's troops, peacekeeping troops, are known for being dynamic, for being neutral. India brings a particularly unique geopolitical positioning in the world, and communities in conflict recognize that India brings a certain special neutrality that many countries don't have as well. And India is also bringing support in many other ways. The peacekeeping troops that India deploys are also helping communities in despair in the areas they serve with building resilience to disaster risk, supporting, providing veterinary services, helping them improve their livelihoods in the rural communities, providing solar power for municipalities as well who are not connected to electricity grids, and many, many other types and forms of support.
So my last question, Prime Minister Modi, they say on 21st June will be leading the International Yoga Day. So this is after 9 years since UN unanimously selected 21st June, recognized it as International Yoga Day. What are your views on that? And your president will be also joining him, I believe.
Well, the Secretary General of the United Nations and perhaps President, yes. Look, I would say that, first of all, International Yoga Day, which came into force, I believe, in 2015, was supported by 175 countries very, very quickly. So I think everybody in the world sort of really got on board and understood what an important and joyful day that is when we look at the international calendar. Yoga has, and under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister Modi, who's really been pushing international recognition of yoga and supported the International Day. So the Honorable Prime Minister will be leading this session of yoga at the UN, at the United Nations, at the Secretariat on the 21st of June. I think it will really be a very, very big deal. But, also the messages there are very important. It's about upholding many of the UN values. This is about mindfulness. It's about supporting mental health, especially in these stressful times that we have today. It's about mind and body, and being healthy and exercising. And of course, the World Health Organization is always telling us to do that. So we very much support yoga for all of these different ways. And one of my goals since arriving here in India is to start taking up yoga myself. I've done just a little bit, so I need to do much more. That's a personal challenge as well. And but on overall, for Yoga Day, for the support to peacekeeping, really on behalf of the United Nations, we want to say Bharat ko Dil se